Common Man Forge, old barbecue grill. Alright, a Common Man Forge. Just this old barbecue grill here. What I've got is, when I went to the junkyard, I also picked up this piece of this brake. That's where I put my coal at. Bought some pipes at Home Depot. That was probably the most expensive part of it. I think I spent maybe 50 bucks on piping. And I've got another piece inside here that's going to go on the end of that. And instead of using a hair dryer like the piece is made for, I'm going to hook it up to an old bathroom fan that I've got. Got all that out there now. Okay. Now what I plan on doing is using this to set right here and go through that with the piece here, whatever that thing's called. Gotta go dump this crap out. Okay guys, had a couple of changes of plans in there. I went ahead and removed all the guts out of it. What I realized is that piece is not long enough to reach down under here if it's mounted up this high. So my plan now is to set on top of that, and then there's one here, one there. So I got to get that piece cut to fit that size. We'll go on. Okay, another quick little update. The tray that I was going to use was not big enough to reach across from there to there. So, cut some rebar and I put in there. Okay, so what I've done here, to make the rebar stay in place, I put a couple of self-tapping screws in, there and there. And then up here on the front side, I put in a self-tapping screw, focus. But I couldn't get behind it to put one in there, so I just put a block of wood in behind it. That'll keep the rebar from moving too much. Hopefully, that'll take care of it. Alright, got it in there. So what I did was I put that rebar around there, put it to where it won't move. This tray, I cut the back side of it off over there. That's where the handle was, so I cut that off of there. Now I just got to get a hole in the center of it here and put my part from the brake on there. That's where the coals will sit. Go right in there. Alright, this is going to take a while. I'm going to turn the camera off. Okay, we got our hole cut. Let's see how it all fits together here. I'm going to work it all, or if I'm going to have to do something completely different. Alright, let me bring the camera over here, show you what we got. Little effort, but that's where I'll put my stuff at. I'm not going to be making any broadswords from the Middle Ages, so I don't need a huge hoard. That's the piece I made just to catch some of the stuff going down in there. And this is offset a little bit, but right there, it's kind of like caught in that hinge, so it kind of helps keep it in place maybe That's where I'll hook my air up at. Fit perfect. Happy. I'm happy with it. Alright guys, I'm going to call it a night. That's enough for me tonight. I still got to check the garden. I got to check for eggs. I got to put chickens away. All that stuff you do out here in the country. Be back tomorrow. We'll see if we can finish this thing up. Alright guys, getting back to our common man forge setup. Here's the fan I'm going to be using. It's just a fan that came out of the bathroom. And first thing I need to do is make sure it works, okay? So I'm just going to hook this up to it. This is just a plug that's been cut off over here. And I'm going to hook it up, plug it in, see if it works. Okay, so I took this plug and I hooked up the wires to the fan here. I wouldn't recommend you doing this without putting nuts on these. I'm just going to hold them, stick this plug in far enough to see if that fan comes on. Alright, we have power. On to the next step. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I drilled a couple of pilot holes, and I'm going to put this switch right here. That'll be easy enough to get to, and then I can run the electricity to it underneath. These are supposed to be self-tapping screws, but they don't tap worth a crap. That's why I drilled pilot holes. Alright, that's on there. Okay, the box is a little more critical. I want the exhaust here to be at about the same level that this pipe is here. It's got some play in it, back and forth, so that's not too bad. I'm going to mount this about right here, something like that. Put a couple of screws in it, and then try to attach those two together. Okay, so what I've done here is I took these two screws out of the drill, they're 3 3/4 inches on center. I drilled a couple of holes into here, 3 3/4 inches, using the screws that were on the grill. Looks like it was made for it. Alright, let's start some wiring. Okay, got the grate on there. I got the switch wired up. I did not show you that because I'm not an electrician. I don't want to try to give you advice on wiring. It's not what I do. But the fan, it's just wire nuts. That's the easy part. Get those wires kind of tucked up underneath there. Give them a little protection. Also, face the wire nuts, face those up. If water does drip on them, it creates like a cone for the water to drip down off of. However, this is going to be inside most of the time. I'm not going to leave it out because this electricity is not weatherproof. But what I've done, I just wired this plug into the switch, and what I'll do is I'll run an extension cord to wherever I want to put this at. Since it's portable, I can take it outside, inside, it doesn't matter. I hook an extension cord up to that, I got power. Okay, for this back part, I'm going to get real fancy. This is what I had on my old forge, and that's actually made to fit a hair dryer. You put it in here, it blows in there. I'm going to use this instead of a hair dryer, I like it better. But it doesn't really fit right there too well. My solution, Gorilla Tape. It works, it's good enough. I'll fasten that on here. I've got a small piece of PVC inside. Put that on. Put that on, and I'll cut this PVC to fit right there. So let me get that marked, get that cut. We'll go from there. Okay, so because of the way I built this, there's a lot of play. You don't have to have these things perfect. I'm not even going to glue the PVC together. I'm just going to do that. I'm going to do that. Maybe wrap some tape on that, maybe not. It's a pretty snug fit. Do that. One thing I forgot to say earlier about that bathroom fan is they have these flappers in there so the air can only go one way, and I had to remove this to get that other piece to go inside there. So if you're going to make one like that, make sure you take that little flapper out of the fan exhaust. Okay, so where I wired this up on this side, just plug the extension cord in right here. I've laid a paper towel on there. If there's air come through, that paper towel should move a little bit anyway. Check it out. Yep, that's got a decent amount of air coming through it. All right. Okay guys, there it is. This portion of it is done. There's a little grate that I made. Everything's rusted because I haven't used this in 2 years. That's okay though, I don't mind. This is what we did today. I got that switch on there. I'll get a cover plate for it. There's our fan. I went ahead and secured these with a little bit of Gorilla Tape, simply because when I move this, those could just so easily fall right out of there. So that allows it to hold on just a little bit better. So there it is, the Common Man Forge. I think I'll make a knife. Hey guys, thanks for watching here at Bullhornbeach again. If you want to see more of these Common Man type videos, subscribe, come back next week. I try to do a video every weekend if I can. Till then guys, get out. Okay, stop that. If you want to see more of these Common Man type videos, spit on my lip. Golly.